Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. It just doesn't matter. And we can sit here and say, will he ever be an underdog again? Yeah, he will be, because we just saw it in 3 straight playoff games. No matter what,
Mhm.
the numbers are going to be the numbers, and the power ranking for the regular season, the power rating for San Francisco was higher, so they ended up being the favorite. It was strange at game time. I saw 1.5s. I saw 2.5s. You don't see that in the Super Bowl with all the millions of dollars that are in that. Usually have one specific sharp number sitting there, but guys, everybody's going to talk about the 3 Super Bowl MVPs dynasty. All of that is fair, and that's probably the biggest story. But what is most impressive to me, couple things. He's played 6 years. This was the age 28 season. 6 years, 6 AFC title games. He's in the Final Four, lock it in, every year of his career so far. Age 28. And I see some Patriots, oh, he's not Brady. Compare these stats. Compare those. Guys, doesn't matter. He's been in 4 Super Bowls. He's won 3 of them. When it's over, the numbers are going to be comparable. Look at the receivers that he had yesterday. Look at the guys that he was throwing touchdown passes to. Super Bowl MVPs, he ties Montana. The only one with more is Brady with 5. He might beat Brady with 5 Super Bowl MVPs. Underdog at 3 straight playoff games. It was unreal. And when they're trailing, I should just automatically check the live line. We all know that we should at this point. But I think part of some of us, we wanted them not to win. Like, that's where we are. Are they now the evil empire? It
Yeah.
kind of feels that way, right?
See, I'm not there, but I think I'm in the minority. I
Yeah.
still love Pat Mahomes. I did have icky taste in my mouth when it came to the Patriots, but there's something about Pat Mahomes
Yeah.
and this Chiefs team that does not rub me the wrong way. And obviously, I was already on them money line and on the spread. I bet it 3 ways, so I also was not thinking like, oh, let's hit it again and see what the live line is. But I don't feel annoyed by them yet, and I thought Pat Mahomes after the game brought up a good point. Like, we have a young team. Like, he didn't say this, but this was the year like the Niners needed to beat them. Like, this was basically a down year for them.
It
I
was.
think he's going to be better than Brady.
Yeah, I mean,
Felt that way.
that's the thing is this was supposed to be the down year, right? I mean, look at where we had this team 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago. I don't want to say left for dead, but we all kind of looked at him and were like, oh, okay, yeah, the Chiefs are going to win the AFC West by default, and they'll get into the playoffs. But, they're going to have to go to Buffalo or they're going to have to go to Baltimore. They did both of those things and handled them just the way the Chiefs always do. And that's, I think, the key difference here between this Chiefs dynasty and the Patriots dynasty of Belichick and Brady is Belichick and Brady, whether you believe that the Spygate or Deflategate or any of that mattered or not, even if you believe they would have won championships anyway, there was a certain something about that rubbed you the wrong way if you weren't a Patriots fan, that made you question, well, how much did it help them, if it helped them at all? And that was always in the back of your mind when you talked about the Patriots dynasty. Hey, he's probably the greatest coach of all time. He's probably the greatest quarterback of all time. But there was that caveat, that asterisk that always hung out in the back of your brain and said, yeah, but what about the signals? What about the footballs? We don't have that yet with the Chiefs. May Travis Kelce be a bit obnoxious on the sideline sometimes? Sure. May Patrick Mahomes be a bit obnoxious after a loss to the Bills at home in the regular season? Yeah, sure. They're going to be a bit obnoxious at times, but I think all of us sees in that level of obnoxiousness from the Chiefs that you get sometimes that it's basically born out of the uber competitiveness that you have to get to that level. It's not cool. It looks a little cringy, but we don't think they're cheating, right? We don't have that gnawing little asterisk in the back of our brains yet. Maybe something will come out someday. Who knows? But right now, the Chiefs dynasty is a whole lot more palatable, Joe, than the Patriots dynasty.
They got the once-in-a-lifetime hit on the quarterback. They've paid the quarterback. When you pay the quarterback, that's when it's supposed to turn. That's when it
Right.
gets difficult. That's when you lack depth as an organization. They're still winning Super Bowls. Let's talk about Reba McEntire. Okay. Look,
Thought we were
she
going to save this
seems
for the prop conversation, but let's dive in.
it'll come up again. She seems like a good enough human. I've heard she's a humanitarian. Okay. People seem to love her. And like the arguments that we were hearing for the over, people may like have their victory laps. That's fine because the over did hit. It wasn't about the vocal pacing, Jason Logan. It wasn't about her being old. Because if you were watching, like I was one of those people, yes, Reba, I was in your corner. It was going quick. She was moving. And then every year in the anthem props, we get, will the singer omit a word? We didn't get that. Because you know why? Because people go senile when they're 68 years old. And maybe Reba did. Because Reba just decided to start adding words. Like she didn't have respect for Francis Scott Key and what he put together a couple hundred years ago, that she's just adding words. And in the fine print at a lot of these sports books, it's final note. So you can just add words. I didn't know this was part of it, that you can add Braves 6, 7, 8, 9. How many she do to go over the total? Reba, maybe a degen. Maybe she's gone down that road a little bit. Maybe Peter King would not be very happy with Reba's lifestyle right now because she's clearly betting the over on herself. That's what's happening right now. I'm not happy. I don't know how the show Reba lasted 126 episodes. It's god awful. I'm out on The Voice. I was never in, but I'm completely out. I'm never going to be in. I'm out on Gingers. I'm out on senior citizens singing the national anthem.
Out on
Gingers.
Gingers.
I would also like to announce that I am out on Gingers as well.
Is that because of her
unrelated
relationship?
I
reasons.
was never in.
Wait.
For unrelated
See?
reasons.
You guys laugh
Yeah,
at me. But
unrelated.
you all agree. We're all going one by one.
I'm
Yeah,
laughing.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm laughing
I'm
because
out.
there's not many that I've had
not many.
great experiences with.
I will stand firm and embrace the ginger audience here on BetQL Daily. You all can be
Carpet
my
mattress
friends
drapes?
in this.
That's all I want to know.
Jesus, Joe. Jason Lockenfora next.
Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan. Come on now. You know, like all things being close to equal, I like the Chiefs. So the way I bet this game was I bet Kansas City +2. I bet Kansas City +2.5. I bet Kansas City money line. I bet Kansas City over 23.5 points. I didn't like any totals other than that. We talked about it, Chris, on our show. Like that 47.5 never moved. It was so snug. So who do I think's winning the game? Kansas City. Do I think they've got to get to 24 to win the game? Yes, I had this game capped 27-23, Kansas City. That was my correct score prediction. 27-23, 27-24. I sprinkled a little bit on both. I was a little off on that. I was way off on the rushing aspect of this game. But the rest of the stuff, I was pretty on. Kickers playing a big role. A lot of the ancillary props, use check over longest reception, use check over receiving yards. Noah Gray to get the 2 receptions like he's done for me all through the playoffs. But the rushing stuff, wasn't what I thought it was going to be. At least that Pacheco carries prop went over, but obviously not the anytime touchdown and not the yards. And Kyle does what Kyle does. He takes the ball out of the hands of the running back at critical junctures. And he pretty much conceded the second and third quarters in that regard. And you can't let Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes run 80 plays on you. If they run 80 plays on you, you're going to lose, son. Like, you got to know that. And he still doesn't seem to know that. And all that came back to bite them. But it was astonishing to me watching the Chiefs kind of be their own worst enemy. And I'm thinking maybe the weight of back-to-back has got to them. Maybe that's their kryptonite. No, that wasn't their kryptonite. So that's a long-winded way of saying ain't nothing stopping them now. Like, you got to get your shots in on them when you can. Because over the next – Mahomes he's going to probably play till his late 30s. Like, he's chasing Brady. He's not going to stop chasing Brady until he gets damn close. So you might have 10 more years of this.
I think the interesting talking point is that the Niners are the favorite. So Shanahan can't break through. Why are the Niners the favorite? Well, the Niners are the favorite, and we're seeing this with a lot of the AFC because they have the much more challenging path. That I guess that makes sense. It's a dynasty. I'm still making the Chiefs the favorite at my sports book if I'm creating these
Yeah.
odds. And I get it. You got the great
Mhm.
quarterbacks in the league with Allen and Lamar and Mahomes, of course, all on that one side. And then, let's not forget about Burrow and a few others, great offenses like the Dolphins as well. And what did the Browns do after being the 5 last year and winning all those awards? But I still make the Chiefs the favorite. I strongly disagree with the way they did this. So as we go through this, we can talk about it. What you're clearly seeing is more value on the AFC teams because the path is that much more difficult. To
Mhm.
game after game after game. Okay, you might upset the better quarterback once, but are you going to do it 2, 3 consecutive times? It's really hard. So you can find value on AFC teams, but you have to take down Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, probably some combination of those teams.